All right, so on the date that we're recording this, Donald Trump will be inaugurated the, 45th president, Corey?
That's the rumor.
Okay, 45th president in 2 days from the time that we're recording this. And there is a prophecy that says he may not make it to Friday. Prophecy sparks fears of Donald Trump assassination. Conspiracy theorists believe the blind Bulgarian mystic Baba Vanga. Have you heard of Baba Vanga, Corey?
No, I thought it was going to be Nostradamus.
No. No. I believe Nostradamus is dead, right? It's been...
Well, yeah, but he planned ahead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm thinking all wrong. Corey. Okay. No, this is Baba Vanga. Warned that something will happen to the president-elect before he's sworn in on January 20th, 2017. So depending on when you're listening to this, this may or may not have happened already.
It's weird because Baba Vanga sounds like an Italian lounge singer. So you could see him having ties to the mafia, and I think that that's already something that Trump maybe has ties to.
Yeah.
So it would almost make sense that some guy who's hooked up with the second generation of Frank Sinatra's old gang is like, we're gonna take down Trump, Baba Booey, and just that would be great.
I got a prophecy for you. Trump's not gonna make it to Inauguration Day.
Donald Trump, darling, take a dump.
Okay, so here is her chilling prediction. It states, everyone will put their hopes in him to the end. But the opposite will happen. He will bring the country down, and conflicts between North and South states will escalate. Now, it's interesting because she has a pretty good track record. Baba has previously hit the headlines after apparently correctly predicting the 9/11 terror attacks and the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami and the rise of ISIS. The mystic also made a chilling prophecy warning of an invasion of Europe by Muslim extremists in 2016. So I guess you could kind of say that last year that was sort of an invasion of Muslims in Europe with the numerous terrorist attacks, but I don't know if that's really an invasion. Would you call it?
I mean, predictions are always call for loose interpretation anyways.
Yeah. What are some of the, can you think of any of the Nostradamus ones? I know that there's one about like a man in a turban, right?
Yeah, the World War III thing, which has been several times over that we've said, oh, well, this is when it's going to happen. Oh, wait, no, it didn't happen that time. This is when it's going to happen. It's like the church that kept predicting that the world was going to end by such and such date, and then it just kept not doing it. And it's like, oh, no. Factoring in the wind chill factor and something to do with leap year, I think we meant next year around this time. And just, yeah.
I think we should make some prophecies. Do you want to make some prophecies, some predictions?
Yes.
Okay. Somewhere in the world, in the years to come, people will face a great tragedy befalling on them, and they will elect a leader who will divide at the same time, join them together. That's my prophecy.
I predict that my wife is going to stub her toe on the couch because it happens about once a week. I think the odds are in my favor.
No, you're not vague enough, Corey. You're going to make it
some piece of furniture in the house.
Not even that.
Or the cats.
A woman who's related to the man Corey Scott will injure herself in a way that's predictable. See, you got to be.
I don't like to go broad. I like a nice defined audience.
Okay, all right. So you're going to be a specific prophet.
Yeah, because that's the only way to make real money.
All right. Okay, so
the devil's in the details.
Let's wrap up this story. This Baba Vanga foresaw a great Muslim war. which would begin with the Arab Spring in 2010, play out in Syria, and end with the establishment of I don't know how to pronounce that. Calipate. Caliphate? I don't know. Maybe I
Possibly.
misspelled something.
Or maybe it's the fate of California with Donald Trump becoming president.
Okay. Yeah. By 2043, with Rome at its epicenter, this is according to news.com.au. Vanga, who died in 1996, aged 85, reportedly made hundreds of predictions in her 50-year career. So I'd love to actually find the transcripts and actually read them word for word, verbatim, to see just how vague they are.
I think that at the very least, I mean, if she's focusing on Trump, then it should be on Twitter. So that way Donald has something that he can tweet back and like, Baba Vega is a lousy prophet. You want good prophets? Read my book, Art of the Deal. That would make more sense.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, that would be very, very, very interesting. So I guess we'll just have to sit on our hands and wait to see if this lady's correct. We don't have to wait too much time to wait. What's the word I'm looking for? We don't have to wait very much longer to find out if she's correct or not.
I mean, I'm not placing bets, but I'm hopeful.
Don't. We're live on the internet. People are listening. Do you really want the Secret Service to be knocking on your door?
Hope leads to many places, and probably my front door.
All right.
Secret Service men are hunky.
All right. Let's wrap up this. See, on Real World Weekly, we don't really we're recording in chunks, so we can just be
right.
Screw off between stories here. All right.
I'm familiar with your work, Dave.
All right. I'm glad somebody is. Here, I need to listen back to this. Or
hope leads to many places.
You know what? I may end it. That funny that you did. Too much time to wait. Here.
Read my book, Art of the Deal. That would make more sense.
Okay.
That is the worst Trump ever.
I like it. Hang on. It's gonna end right there. Bam. I like to end our stories with zingers. So
yes, I've got that.
Okay. All right, let's do yours, and I'll do kind of a short introduction. I'm kind of changing the format again. I'm getting rid of the intro and the outro basically, and just do the two stories, and that's it. So I will incorporate your introduction in your story. So let's do this. Corey Scott in for Matt Stein this week. Corey, you are the host of Podcast of Terror and Else Nerds. Do you want to do just a quick synopsis of both those podcasts before we get into your story?
Yeah, if you want to listen to something that's good for the whole family, listen to Podcast of Terror and Else Nerds. We don't swear or spoil things at all on either of those.
No, not at all. It's completely safe. Your baby could listen. Your toddler could listen to the podcast and be safe.
When iTunes says explicit, it means explicit in goodness.
No, it's actually educational. The spoiling and the swearing that you guys do.
Yeah, we try our best to teach. That's what we want to do. Is we want to affect the future children.
Podcast of Terror, all about horror stuff, right? Horror movies, horror TV shows, right?
Yeah, we've taken more of a horror movie bent. We do talk about the upcoming horror TV shows and video games. We'd like to stretch it a little bit more, but that seems to be where the things have fallen so far.
And that can be found at gncasts.com/POT. And then you have the Else Nerds, and it's more of a broad show, right? You guys cover a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's a general geekiness kind of thing. We cover TV, comics, films, but whatever we're kind of interested in that week. And when we have guests on, we try to cater to what they're geeking out about too.
And that's elsenerds.com, right?
Yep.
Okay. And it's you do that with Gregor, and then you do Podcast Terror with Matt Stein, who you're filling in for this week. So that works out pretty well.
Yeah, it's like an STD. I'm just getting passed around.
So what did you bring? What kind of weirdness did you bring us?
Well, I wanted to go back to my roots. I grew up in Michigan. While I live in Northern California now, I came from the Detroit area, and there was a lot of weird things that I remember kind of growing up. One of the things that was really popular when I was a teenager was something called the Pink Castle or the Pink Palace. And the Pink Palace was a home out in the woods in Manchester, in between Manchester and Chelsea, Michigan. And it's kind of a weird, obscure place that, rumor had it, a lot of Satanists and witches held meetings there. And if you drove up to the place, usually late at night with your friends, probably a little drunk, you would see and hear voices and see satanic style symbols and lights going off inside of the place. Pagan items and pagan symbols in the upstairs bathroom and floors, usually shadowy human-like figures. Didn't quite add up. And the neighbors would shoot you with rock salt.
Oh, nice bonus.
Yeah, they didn't like the kids. They didn't enjoy us coming around.
If the paranormal activity and the Satan worship wasn't enough, let's shoot you in the ass with some salt.
You know, it's a good place to build a country home. So I remember going to this with friends. I didn't realize it at the time, but in my teen years, I was a precocious enough person that I got maybe a little heavily into witchcraft and went to some different occult type of meetups, read a lot of the books, got into some of the crowds, and was pursued, I guess, by a small coven of people. And they wanted me to join up with them. I didn't realize until later on that they associated with the Pink Palace. Supposedly. Like, this is stuff I heard after the fact. But they were pretty hardcore about trying to get me to join up with them for a while. And that was when I was getting out of it. I'd hit the point where I was less into witchcraft and more into being not weird so I could get a date. And it was just like, sorry, guys, you just missed your window there.
We go through phases in our lives, and you were transitioning from one thing to another.
Yeah, and I guess if I was really that interested in getting a date, there was a girl who was kind of part of how they were trying to entice me into the group. But still, the sad thing about the Pink Palace is that it seems to be no more. The house was demolished a few years ago, and I was a little upset to hear about that because it's one of those things that I would have liked to have taken my wife to when we went back to sightsee, because that's what you do is you go to places that are haunted or house Satanists when you go to visit family. But the grounds are still creepy, and according to a lot of people who go over there, they still feel the presence of ghosts and otherworldly beings. On top of that, I think that the some of the other structures on the land, including the old slaves' quarters, might still be standing, and the pillars that greet you when you come in there are still there, which are kind of the identifier of what used to be.
Well, I suppose even though you give, or despite the fact that the actual structures are gone, the energy has to be there still, right?
Yeah, I mean, it had no place to go. I mean, where's it going to move? Detroit?
It might go with like the wood, like maybe one piece of the spirit is in Akron and another piece is in Mobile. I've been away from
Alabama.
I can't pronounce city names anymore. Mobile,
You
Alabama.
got all this. You got all those Canadian provinces dipping around your head. Um, yeah, and who knows? Because the land is as I remember, it was decently vast. So there's a lot of things that could be buried out on those grounds. That it's not like they've built something new there. Last I saw, so it's possible that there's still stuff there that just wasn't taken away. They moved you moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies.
How old were you? What was your age when you were kind of hanging around this place?
When I went with my friends, I was probably about 17 or so, and that was maybe a year to 2 years after I had been getting courted to be a part of it.
Okay.
But like I said, the I didn't know as much about the details of the girl and her friends who were trying to get me involved in it until later on, and that came third party.
Okay. Oh, I understand the order of things now. I was a little bit confused. So, did you experience anything when you visited the place?
Just getting shot at.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
that was
I wish I was joking about that. No, rock salt leaves a good sting on you.
wow. So no paranormal activity, but activity in your behind.
Yeah, we were not there long enough before the neighbors kind of sought us out, and my friend's red Mustang, and realized we did not belong.
I bet you they just loved living there. Just a constant flow of visitors saying hi. You know, it's like the person living like next to the house in New Mexico that was supposed to be what's his face's house from Breaking Bad. I'm sure the neighbors just love that. People stalking by
Yeah,
all
or
hours.
it's like, are you bringing any packages from Gavin and Yvonne Frost? No, then you don't belong here.
All right. I would love to find out if anybody else has or did visit this place when it was still up, or have visited since and have either experienced or not experienced any kind of residual activity. I love to find out that kind of stuff. So please reach out to us and give us some feedback. I would love to find out. Huh. All right. I got nothing. I got no way to end that story. I think okay. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Corey. That was a very interesting and insightful look into your childhood and a little history of Michigan. There we go. That's all I got.
I had nothing to follow up with that.
I'm tired. I'm really tired.
I get it, man. Just
hang on.
edit the hell out of it.
Hang on.
Yvonne Frost? No, then you don't belong here.
All right. I would love to find out. Okay.
Are you bringing any packages from Gavin and Yvonne Frost? No, then you don't belong here.
Okay, we'll end it right there. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So this will be the next episode. I'm going to have you on 2 episodes, Corey. Oh, you know how all this works.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm telling you.
Thanks.
Can you see the chat or the comments? Do you see Growly Bear there?
I do not see comments.
Oh, you don't? You don't see in the right-hand corner the comments?
No.
Okay, that's weird. I'm pretty sure that Brad and Nessa are usually able to see the comments, because we have 3 viewers right now. We have Growly.
I see them pop up on the screen every once in a while, but
okay. Growly Bear, Joanna Jorgensen, who's a regular, and Mike Pekornik. Remember Mike?
yeah, Mike. Of course I remember Mike.
He's watching us. So hello, guys. I wish I could comment back, but I can't. I've tried to type it in, but it won't let me for some reason. All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right. Now, the next thing is kind of visual, and I wish I could share my screen, but I can't. So I'll have to describe it as well as I can here. Okay, so somebody in Arizona took a picture of the devil, Corey. Do you believe it?
I believe that the devil would definitely hang out in Arizona.
It's hot enough, right?
I was just going to say any place with chitlins.
It would be as close to the environment of hell as you can get, pretty much. About the same kind of weather.
Roughly.
A Facebook user recently took a photograph which he claimed shows a giant winged demon in Arizona. So maybe not the devil, but one of the devils, what would you call them?
I don't know. The backing band for the devil?
Yes, the Devilettes.
Like the Pips, Gladys Knight, and the Demonics?
Yes, exactly. The image, which was taken by Richard Christensen, which is kind of an ironic name for taking a picture of the devil, has been viewed almost 100,000 times. The scene where the photograph was taken appears to be shrouded in fog, with streetlights bathing the area in a yellowish gaze. Asking for help from members of the public, he wrote, "What the hell do you see in this picture?" See, I think this guy's got a pretty good sense of humor.
He's leading.
Yeah.
Leading the witness.
One user who claimed inside knowledge of the other world suggested, looks like a frontline demon to me. I don't know what frontline means.
Well, it's a demon that helps combat fleas and ticks.
Oh, okay. All right. If I'm paying for a demon to fight my ticks, my fleas and ticks, it better work.
I mean, it better at least annoy them. Yeah. Or they should repent.
Others supported the suggestion, saying, but with the evil days we live in now, what if it is a demon wreaking evil deeds all around us? Whether you want to believe it or not, these are the end times.
What if he's not wreaking evil, but he's just looking for work? It's like I came to where I'd find the most employment.
Yeah. I guess, again, Arizona would be the perfect place to go for that kind of thing.
Or Washington.
Yeah. A lot of Trump supporters in Arizona. Just saying. Others supported the suggestions. Okay, I already wrote that or read that part. Another suggested, so true, we are in end times. Any evilness can pop up. However, despite conspiracy theorists predicting imminent rapture, one person came up with a more rational explanation. Richard, it's a damn palm tree. And you tried making this S famous, but it's not working.
Are there a lot of palm trees in Arizona?
I think there is, yeah.
I mean, there definitely seems like there's a lot of palm trees in Florida, right?
Wait a second. Yeah, in California.
And isn't that where the devil really's from?
Yeah. It's enough crazy stuff happening in Florida.
Those devil palms.
Yes. No, yeah.
Coconut doom dropping on your head.
Come to think of it, I don't think there is palm trees in Arizona. So maybe it's not a palm tree. Have you seen the picture? Oh, no, I haven't. I didn't share the document with you. Hang on. I'm going to do that real quick. And you can tell me if you think this is either the devil or the devil's helper. So pardon the interruption, people. I'm just going to send this to Corey real quick. And just let me know when you get it. Oh, even better. I could probably just share the link with you, right? That might be easier. So I will share this in our Slack group. And I'm going to edit this part out of the audio when I actually produce this podcast. If I remember to. I may forget. All right, so where are you? You're right. Did you get the invite in your email?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, just, I guess, click on that then. And take a look at the picture. Let me know when you see it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. You looking at it?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think that is? Does it look like the devil to you?
Well, it looks sort of like Birdman, if you've ever watched your classic cartoon series on Cartoon Network late at night. Yeah. My question is if this guy took the picture, did he take it and run? If it's a tree, it doesn't seem like it would have been that hard to walk up to it then afterwards and say, "Oh no, you're stationary," and you're just blowing in the wind. But if it's if I saw it and thought it was the devil, I don't know. I get a snap off.
Yeah, he seems pretty calm, doesn't he? Like he just asked, "What the hell this is this?" Like if that was the actual devil, and I took a picture of it, I'd be like freaking out.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't grow up with social media, so we don't understand the importance of tweeting our meals and Instagramming our bowel movements. So it makes sense that the world's coming to the end. I should put this on Facebook real fast just to make sure that I get as many likes as possible, because that's how you get into heaven.
You got to have priorities.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise Mark Zuckerberg's not going to let you in.
All right. How long is this? How long have we been? All right. Okay. So, what other possibilities do you think this could be? Do you think it's a tree of some kind?
It looks more like one of the sculptures that Edward Scissorhands made. I don't exactly know.
Oh, I think you might be. Okay, it could be one of those like big like the trees with like that are full looking that they. I guess it's a hedge, right? That would be called a hedge.
Someone
right?
cut it to look like an angel, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's a devil worshiper who commissioned a statue of the devil.
Yeah, it's Anton LaVey's summer home.
Who?
Welcome to the Hotel Arizona.
I'm unfamiliar with what you referenced.
Anton LaVey was the head of the Satanic Church.
Oh, okay. All right. So you know more about this stuff than I do. What the hell are you doing? You need to be on this podcast more often.
I grew up in Michigan. We didn't have a lot of stuff, so we just worship the devil a little bit. Public schools, man.
All right, I think that's good enough. I think we'll end it right there. Looks good to me. All right. I'm gonna look at the time on this though, just to see where we're at here. That would be, let's see, just render, and then not time selection. So it's about 8 minutes long. That's all right. That's perfect. Probably take about 2 minutes out of that. That's about right. Okay. Because sometimes we have real short stories. Other times we have longer stories. So that's cool. All right. So I'm going to do another introduction for you, just to make sure they know who you are. Not everybody knows who Corey Scott is.
You'd be surprised.
I know it's hard to believe.
I keep telling my wife I'm quite popular. She is not bought into it.
I know, me too. And I don't know. She doesn't understand. Okay. Here we go. All right. Again, this week, we are fortunate to have Corey Scott filling in for Matt Stein. Hello, Corey.
Hello, Dave.
So you are part of 2 podcasts on this network.
I am the lesser part of each.
Oh, quit. Don't sell yourself short. Do you want to explain what shows they are that you're on?
Yeah, I am one of the founders of Elts Nerds with Gregor Sprague and our producers, Beatmaster and Evan. We talk about nerdy stuff, just hanging out and enjoying the different things that make us geek in our lives. And then I'm also one of the members of Podcast of Terror with Matt Stein, where we talk about all things scary.
All right. So speaking of scary, what did you bring to Weird World Weekly this week?
So this one is a story which I found interesting because of the application effect of it. 2 teenage girls become possessed and start babbling incoherently after receiving satanic messages on WhatsApp. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I knew WhatsApp was evil.
I mean, I can't really tell you that I've ever heard 2 teenage girls say anything that didn't sound like they were possessed and babbling incoherently. But apparently that's now they do that with WhatsApp.
All right.
So two girls aged 13 and 16 reportedly become hysterical at home in Tacna, Peru. Their family filmed the teenagers wailing as paramedics arrived to treat them, and the footage also shows the girls appearing to suffer from convulsions. Now, you and Matt, I believe, did a story a while back, which is being turned into a documentary on HBO coming up about two girls who got possessed by the Slender Man
Yeah, that
and
happened in
tried to kill their friend.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yep. It happened in
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
right, exactly. And this seems kind of the same thing, is that these girls were using WhatsApp and some message came through to them and caused them to essentially freak out. They received satanic messages on WhatsApp. It doesn't say who they received them from, so I don't know if it's from someone that they knew or if it. I've never used WhatsApp. I know it's a chatting app similar to Facebook Messenger, and Facebook bought them, but I don't know if it's something where you speak to random people or if you only speak to people that you know. And I guess the devil you know is probably the worst thing that you could deal with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have to be your contacts for you to communicate with them. Unless
Although if you just add random people,
yeah, that's also possible. Yeah. You could do that with Facebook. You can make public groups in Facebook Messenger if you want. So maybe there's a similar functionality in WhatsApp, or maybe there's a public and a private mode.
Yeah. So you can see footage of this, and Dave will put a link in the show notes to the video of the girls. It shows the girls who were in their pajamas at the time appearing to suffer from convulsions. A neighbor said that the paramedics sedated the teenagers before taking them to the hospital. And the doctors at Hippolyta Unanu Hospital said the girls had been in a hysterical state. The mother of the teenagers reportedly told a neighbor that a sudden change came over the girls after they had read a chain message on their phones at about midnight. So that's the other thing. Have you ever gotten those spam chain messages in, like, Facebook at least is good because it gives you two different inboxes. It gives you the inbox from the people that you know, and then it gives you some separate inbox that it didn't tell anybody existed.
Yeah.
That just anybody can send you mail, and that's where all the spam seems to go to.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's similar. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I love the mashing up of something so ancient as an evil thing or a satanic thing with something that's new, like the social networking world. It sort of sounds like an urban legend in a way. This sounds like a creepypasta story to me. It could.
I mean, it's the modern urban legend. Because the technology is going to change. So if you tell kids about chain letters, nobody's going to send things in chain letters anymore. Those don't exist. Mm-hmm. But it makes sense that it would move on to the instant communication aspect of email or chat apps.
Yep, exactly. And I was thinking also that they may be using WhatsApp and this satanic message as an excuse or a cover-up for something else. Like,
yeah, I mean, we're feeding our kids donkey meat and they reacted poorly.
Or maybe one of them was going to get in trouble for something, so they use this as like a big deflection, like a distraction.
Ferris Bueller's First Possession. Just like, Mom, I can't go to school today. I'm possessed by the devil. Now, Ferris, you've had 14 days where you've been possessed by the devil so far this semester. No, Mom, I'm serious. I'm not skipping. It's just Natas, and head spins around. And
yeah, I can just totally see that opening scene, or I don't know if it's the opening scene but it's the scene where he's got the whole thing set up in his room to make it look like he's there, but in this case, they actually set up like a mannequin to make it look like the head spin, like all
right. Yeah, exactly.
Into making it look like an actual satanic possession. That would be awesome.
Now, in my many times of skipping school, I've gone through the different kinds of pea soup that you could use, and I find the Progresso beats Campbell's for when you want to make it look like you're vomiting uncontrollably.
I see. Or it could also be that they just wanted some attention. That's an old story. Let's
That,
because they feel neglected. They feel like they're not getting enough attention, so they make up things.
yeah, I mean, kids sometimes just freak out because they're kids, but it's a long way to go. I've thrown many a fit in my youth, never to the point where, well, I did get sent to the hospital once, but that's because I stuck a button up my nose and it disappeared.
On purpose?
I think so.
Huh. I swallowed a penny once.
Yeah. Well, you don't know when you're going to need that. That's called investing. Investing in yourself, which is the best investment of all.
Oh, all right. All right. I think that's going to do it right there. Good job, Corey. Thank you for filling in for
Oh,
Mr.
my pleasure.
I'll edit that shit together now that we're off. We're technically off. I can swear. Unlike your shows, swearing McSwearson's over there on your podcasts.
Yeah, I know. It's not even like we're good at it.
No, you guys are the masters of profanity.
We had a really good episode this weekend with we had the person who created horrorgeeklife.com, and she brought on one of the developers of the Friday the 13th game.
Really?
And he didn't even see the movie. He just hung out the whole time and chatted with us. And they were great. They were so good.
I don't listen to you guys' shows enough. I need to make a point of listening to you guys. Everybody,
I mean, definitely listen at like double time, double speed. But it was for people that we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was great. We've been really lucky with our guests, though.
How did you get them booked?
Matt wound up talking to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, well, I know that you're into this Friday the 13th game. I can bring in the guy who helped make it." And Matt's like, okay. And she also said, yeah, and since we're doing the autopsy of Jane Doe, I'll send the episode when it's done over to the director of the film because she knows him too. And,
Wow.
and we're just like, okay. And it didn't put us on the spot or anything because we actually really liked the movie. It would have been terrible. It's like, yeah, I'll send it to him. Okay, it's just 2 hours of us talking about how bad it sucks. No, it was a really good movie. But it was just like, okay, yeah, please do that. And her friends from the site, her co-writers and everybody have been reviewing the show and stuff too. They went on and started reviewing us on Facebook right after. They were really nice people.
Oh, that's how those got. I saw some people commenting on the page and giving some stars to our page. So that's good. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, really, just it was such a great time, anyways, and we didn't expect anything like that from it, but they were phenomenal.
That's podcasting, man. Like, I listened to the School of Podcasting, and he does these because of my podcast stories all the time. Dave Jackson is the host. And it's amazing at some of the stuff that people end up doing because of their podcast. And that's why he does this segment, because it's just the craziest things that you can end up doing, or people that you end up meeting because you do this little old podcast in your basement, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing too, is that everybody is super, well, I mean, I met you through the podcasting stuff.
Yeah.
I met you and Glenn and Matt. You know, Matt's one of my best friends in the world now, even though we live so many states away from each other, but I hang out with them for a couple hours every week, you know, and we chat and Slack all the time, and it's all because of Galactic Netcasts.
Well, but also look at Brad and Anessa. They met through Galactic Netcasts, and they're living together, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that Matt and I won't someday, you know. You never know how it goes.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on and doing this. So you're going to be
It's my pleasure, Dave.
Going to be on the next 2 episodes, and then we got to bring Matt back.
Yeah, I hope I wasn't so silly that it's not a good show, because
No,
I
no.
really respect the show a lot. It still remains one of my favorite podcasts. Like, I look forward to when Weird Al Weekly comes out every week,
Nice. Well, thank
but
you.
not every week, but when it does.
No, it was the perfect amount of silliness. It was perfect.
Okay, good. I just don't want
All
to
right,
mess
man.
up your numbers. You guys rock.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate it. I gotta go. I'm super tired.
Yep.
But it was awesome doing a podcast with you again. It's been a while. I miss
Yeah.
it.
Same here.
I miss doing the big big panel shows that we used to do. So
We'll get those together. We'll do them like a once in a while show.
yeah, we should. We should totally
It's
do
like
that.
what Daryl and Anessa were talking about with time traveling robots in space, is that it doesn't have to be weekly, but
Mhm.
it's something that you get the old gang back together and you do something fun and interesting. We've got the mega feed, put it out on the mega feed. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have its own spot.
We'll schedule something. We'll do something, definitely.
All right. Well,
All
give
right,
my love
man.
to Stephanie.
I will. All right.
Have a great one.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.